Hi everyone, I am Misty Doan, and Natalie was
Hi.
so willing to join me today. We are so excited. Welcome to the show. As always, Liz is back there throwing out questions as we have along the way, and we're really excited. Natalie, you've been working on this for over a year, right?
Well, we've had the idea for a long time, but it really started, we started the ball rolling about a year ago, and so we're super excited about this. It's a t-shirt quilt.
Kit. Yes. I'm so excited about it too. It actually makes it feel achievable to me. Natalie makes t-shirt quilts all the time. I feel like if anybody in the family needs a t-shirt quilt, we're always like, hey, Nat. Even though we make all the other quilts, but you get to help us with all of those. So I had to ask her to come and talk about this kit. She's been working so hard on it. So let's just unbox it and talk a little bit about it.
All right. Well, it's very cool. And not just me, by the way. There's a great team of people that really helped put this together. So this is cool because it comes with the t-shirt template.
Okay.
That has, the cutout for fussy cutting and smaller things. This is cool because if you cut this square 4 times, it fits this square.
Let's pull it out so they can see
smaller things.
Very handy.
Yeah, that's awesome. So it comes with an actual template / ruler.
Yep.
You can get it out of the plastic and the pattern. So the pattern that's included
is for this quilt back here.
Okay.
Super basic layout. Just has, and you can do the stashing with these or without them. It's
okay. And this is just a 4x5, so 20 shirts. Yep. Is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And they're all 12.5 inches.
Okay. And so then the template, let's make sure we can see those 2 pieces. It's all secured together.
It's taped together. And I'll take the back off this one.
Yep.
Okay, I was going to say, some people say, when I get mine, it doesn't look like yours.
Or it's like, they'll say it's printed upside down.
It's upside down.
Right, it's backwards. Yeah. This is why.
Yeah, it has a backing on it that protects it while it's being cut.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it keeps it secure. My fingernails are not in good shape today for peeling.
Don't want to get a hold of it?
I am struggling.
Do you need a pin or something?
Yes.
Okay. Here you go.
So, little hack, if you just scrape it with a pin, it'll give you a spot to peel.
To grab a hold of.
Smart.
Yep.
There we go. And now it looks like a real
Woohoo!
template.
You've got it,
ruler.
yep. All right,
Now
I'm
it's
a couple
Pinocchio.
steps behind you.
You're fine. No worries.
The other cool thing that's in this kit, hold on one sec, I got it good.
It's kind of satisfying to rip off
It really
the
is.
pattern.
It's kind of my favorite part.
We should probably do like a peel the template video.
Yeah. What do they call that? Like highly satisfying? ASMR. That's right.
Yes.
Oh, there we go.
Perfect.
Now it is ready to go.
Here, I'll take your paper.
Oh, excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So the next thing that I think is super cool is it comes with these stabilizer sheets.
Okay.
And what's nice about that is you get exactly what you need, and they're 14 inches square. So you have plenty of room to fuse them onto your t-shirts and then trim them to the size that you need.
Oh, perfect.
So what we do with t-shirts is we rough cut like the sides and the sleeves and the neck off, and then you're going to flip it over and put your fusible on.
Well, let's show them how to do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Well, and also it's good to note there's 42 in here, but we just said you only need 20
for this one. So it's enough to make two quilts this size.
That's really great.
But you could, a lot of people do double sides. If you have 40 t-shirts, you can do it on both sides.
That's a wonderful idea.
It's a little bit trickier to quilt because it probably won't line up exactly straight, but if you're, not too worried about it.
Right, or if you're going to tie it, then you could totally do that.
But it's a great number. 42 is plenty. I love that you can get a lot out of it.
Okay.
So let's just give a little scissor.
Here, I'll just slice it off.
Oh!
Look at me go.
Living on the wild side. All right, so these, this is very cool fusible. It's almost like a fabric on one side and has a glue.
Oh,
yes,
you can feel the difference.
So the glue side you definitely want on the wrong side of your t-shirt.
Okay. So let's move these up out of the way, I guess, and talk about cutting down these shirts from over the years.
You just have a few.
Just a few, I know.
Well, yeah.
Well, I only brought like a handful of them.
I'm sure we can fill in. We'll find some more shirts for you to make this quilt complete.
I don't think it'll be a problem.
All right, so I'm not worried at all about this, and I'm very loose with it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
And you're not worried about the fact that I obviously stained this at some point?
Nope, not worried about it at all, because what we'll do is, and you can kind of look at this ahead of time. Oops, flip it over. you can see that if you go right up there, it'll just barely be at the top.
Okay.
Which, honestly, that's going to get caught in your seam allowance.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to, you could pull it down. I just think it's going to look a little more centered up here.
Yeah.
And I don't think you're going to notice it.
Okay.
The other thing that's cool about stabilizing your shirts is if, like, say you had a little rip or a hole, that would be completely secured and almost, it's like a patch on the back of your shirt that would repair it.
Oh, so it's repairing it.
Pretty much, yeah. So then by the time you've got it quilted, your shirt looks great.
Yeah.
And you can't even tell that there was an issue. The other thing to keep in mind is all of this is part of the memory.
That's true.
Right? You're like, man, I worked really hard in this shirt. Something must have gotten on it. I don't know what I was doing. Whether you can remember it or not, it's like that's the time I slid into home and got everything muddy. Whatever it is.
That's a good point, too, because most T-shirts that we want to put in a quilt, it obviously is tied to, they've been well loved.
They have to have been used.
Yes.
They're not going to be perfect.
No,
so.
Exactly.
All right. So I just go about this very kind of crazy. I just freehand chop off the sleeves.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to use those.
Now you're the wild woman.
I know.
Well, this is great. You don't really need that ruler until you're squaring it up.
Okay.
So this part, I try and make sure that I leave myself as much room as possible.
At the top.
Yeah. And so I go along the top, and then I'll just kind of go like right around that.
Okay.
And slide that off.
Okay.
Throw that out.
Do you hold on to the backs of the shirts too?
So here's the deal. Sometimes I do. Sometimes they have like all the people that sponsored your event or whatever.
Sure.
Or it'll say, all the kids that were involved in the program.
Sure.
But the other reason that I would hold on to them just until you're done with your quilt is if you needed an extra shirt. Say you have 19 shirts and you just need that one space filled. You can just stick a back of something on there.
Okay.
Good
so
call.
it's not... I don't throw them away till I'm done.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and then these work great. T-shirts are like awesome. You can make so many things out of them.
It's true.
You can cut them into strips and make headbands. You can stuff dog beds with them. It's great.
Well, and honestly, I love to use old T-shirts as like cleaning rags.
Yes.
They make great cleaning rags. So.
So nothing goes to waste. Really.
Exactly.
No,
awesome.
It doesn't have to. All right, so then I'll just slice up the side here. All you're trying to do is get everything separate.
Just turning it into a piece of fabric, right?
Yep. And nothing has to be perfect. So we'll take that apart because it's completely separated.
So now, like, this is super wrinkly. Would you try and press this before you? No?
I'm going to press it to the fabric. So then this will fit just about there. I want to look at it on the front because the front is where my print is.
But we're going to fuse it to the other side.
Right. And so then I also know that I can also chop off this part.
Okay.
So I'm going to give that a cut.
Just get it out of the way.
Yep, just so that it's easier to work with, right? You just get rid of the stuff that's going to trip you up.
Got it.
All right, I'm going to set that aside. And then we'll go ahead and press. So this faces down.
So what temperature do you have your iron?
Typically I use the hottest setting.
Okay.
But I don't think it really matters. I don't know.
Okay.
I just use hot.
I do too. That's what my iron is always on high, it seems like. But I didn't know if there was a special setting it needed.
Not that I am aware of.
Okay.
There might be real rules, and I might not know them.
That's okay. We're not big fans of rules around here.
Nope. All right. So that is, we're going to just center that up right there.
And so again, you can feel that bumpy side, and it's going towards the back of the shirt, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's right. That's right. And then you just let it set a little bit, like maybe 2 or 3 seconds.
Okay.
And then move it somewhere else. And it will adhere pretty fast. So you don't have to leave it anywhere for a very long time.
Okay.
And then you can just check and make sure that those edges, they're pretty secure. This is really great fusible backing for T-shirts.
Maybe we should talk a little bit about why you need to have the stabilizer behind it.
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
Good call.
Because we didn't really cover that.
If you look at your T-shirt here, the edges, you can tell that this edge is already curled a little bit. Mm-hmm. They're super stretchy.
Yeah.
All directions. Like there's no easy way to sew with this.
They're made of bias.
Yeah. It's all bias.
Yeah. And so putting the fusible backing on it makes it more like a piece of cotton that you would be able to sew together and not have things stretch or get out of whack.
Yeah, it just takes that stretch away, right?
I have seen and heard of people who do it without backing, and if you love that, go for it.
Yeah.
It's great, and I totally admire your perseverance and your courage.
Yes.
This just makes it a ton easier for me.
Okay.
It makes it so that my shirts can be all cut and stay the same size, and then when I'm going through, I can match my points up. It literally just simplifies the whole process.
Awesome, and so you don't get any other rolling like this is even happening here.
Yeah, it's just a challenge to work with without it.
Okay.
And I know a question we get too is, can you use something that's not a t-shirt? So like a jersey or
totally.
a dress shirt, those kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I've done football jerseys. I've done hoodies. Really anything. Even the little real nylon-y, silky kind of jerseys. You can do that too.
They still turn out just fine.
I will often test on maybe the back, a part that I'm not going to have in the front of the quilt, and make sure that my iron's not too hot.
Okay.
Because sometimes with those more synthetic fabrics, they will get more melty.
Yeah.
The other thing is, if you ever are going to press the front, you always want to use a pressing sheet.
Yeah.
And often I'll just use the back of my t-shirt to protect it.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good tip.
That's a great tip
because what happens then is this is it's ink, and if you put the hot iron on it, it will melt and it will smear or it'll make a mess of your iron too.
It absolutely will.
So be sure if you're doing anything on the front of your shirt on the actual printed part, that you use a pressing sheet or something in between it. It could be a towel, it could be whatever.
You don't want that ink getting on you. In another life, Jake and I used to print t-shirts, and it's a lot.
It's hard to get
off.
And once you've done that little smear move, you're not taking it back. It's
Yeah, so just be very careful of that. That's a really good tip.
Yeah, and I use the backs of the t-shirts all the time, and it's great. So, but this one doesn't seem to have any reason for me to
need to press
from the front.
Okay.
I only do that if I feel like it's not sticking, or if maybe there's a bubble or a wrinkle, something that didn't quite get secure.
Okay.
But
it started off not too terribly flat, but it's with that pressing to put the fusible on, it looks really nice and neat.
It does. It looks really nice now.
And this is really superior stabilizer.
Awesome.
Just so you know, there's a lot of different stabilizers out there, and all you really need is a stabilizer that's fusible on one side.
Okay.
But this stuff has a fabric feel to it instead of the more flexible,
kind of papery.
It's kind of almost like a really, really thin batting.
Yeah.
Which is what I typically use, but this is amazing stuff. It's really good. So you're getting a good product. All right. So the next thing you do is just put your template on and cut it out.
Huh?
Yeah. Do you want to do the honors?
It's I guess I will.
It's your shirt.
Okay. So then you just
eyeball it. And the nice thing about this is that you have a cutout, so you can kind of see where the center is, but because it's 12 and a half, you're going to go with your 6 1/4 as your middle.
Right.
So then you just kind of.
I think that's pretty close.
And honestly, I eyeball everything.
Yeah.
And you
don't stress
about it. I don't worry about it, and I don't worry too much that you have more at the bottom than at the top. You do your best.
Yeah. Because you can see this shirt is in this quilt here, and it definitely has more space at the bottom, and it looks just fine once it's all sewn together. And this one here.
Yep.
Yeah.
You just do your best to line it up, and they all just end up looking great.
Yeah, it's adorable. All right, I'm going to do it.
Retest. Here we go.
Yeah. There we go.
It's so satisfying to me, and it just cuts so nice, and then it's like this perfect. It takes a messy t-shirt, and it's just
I'm going to come from this way.
Perfect.
So I'm not cutting towards myself. There we go. Oh my goodness. Look at that.
Yep.
Ta-da!
And it's ready.
It came out so great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So this, like you said, this is just essentially the same as any block we would have in any other quilt at this point, right?
So now you can add star legs, you can sash it, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah. And you did a class, right, that we have, where she does an awesome deep dive into all the many things you can do with t-shirt quilts. It was such a cool class to watch. And so we bought brought some of those projects that you made.
Yes, this is one of my favorites. It's a little baby quilt made from little baby onesies.
Yes, there's little onesies in
here. And my thought on this is, how cool would it be as a mom to be able to give this to your daughter or son who with their baby clothes for their baby.
Yeah, that's so sweet.
Because, you know, they're probably not going to want to put their baby in clothes that they wore 25 years ago.
Right, but something like this is
but it's super sweet to be able to pass on those little memories. Well, and this is mixed with a charm pack. Right. So you have I have charm squares and then little t-shirt squares.
I love it. I love it. It's so cute. And honestly, I don't think if I wouldn't have known that these are, you know, little onesies that have been added, I would have never realized that a little extra is thrown in there, because it just goes so great. It looks
it's also
so wonderful.
That question, like, can you mix
the
t-shirts with other fabrics? And absolutely.
Yeah, because
as they're stabilized, they're just like a cotton fabric at that point.
Yeah, because you can see in here, like, here's a regular charm square. I think this must be from, like, a receiving blanket or something. Or a onesie.
Or, like, jammies.
Something
where there was more of it.
Because it almost feels more flannelly.
That I think would be so cool is if, as your kid grows up, you know, say they go from the baby stage to the toddler bed, and you would just, you know, you can then put those clothes into something that they can still snuggle and cuddle, but it's like
super fun idea.
Take to their first big kid.
But yeah, you could use the little cotton receiving blankets.
So let's talk a little bit about like the actual quilting of a t-shirt quilt, because this has got a cuddle backing, and it's been quilted just like normal, and we just
send them to the quilter and
just
get
do edge to edge.
Yeah. So because they're stabilized, you can quilt them at home on your home machine. You can do walking foot quilting. You can tie them.
Yeah, this one's tied. This is a little runner.
Yep. You can make table runners.
Yep.
I mean, how fun would this be at the Hogwarts party?
Seriously. You know I need this. So.
I know. I keep expecting you to take it home.
I honestly keep forgetting it exists, but now that I see it again, it probably needs to come to my house.
Yeah, I think so.
I love it
too.
I love it. So, well, this has been so great, Nat. Is there any other helpful tips you want people to know?
Just be brave and have fun with it.
Exactly. I think it's so great. What a wonderful way to keep track of all of your memories. Remember, you can find this kit and a link to Natalie's awesome deep dive class in the description below, so be sure to check that out. Thank you so much for coming.
No problem.
I really appreciate it, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye.